the Big Rig Kids, y'all. Are you ready? Let's go. Here come the Big Rig Kids. Roll with the Big Rig Kids. Let's have fire the truck, take you to such amazing places with the Big Rig Kids. Those helpful Big Rig Kids. See how they give and grow and get to know amazing things. Learn with the Big Rig Kids, and you'll see how it is to have adventure days and hang and play with all your friends. Because the Big Rig Kids know what it is to live a most exciting and inviting life is positive.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Conversations with Grandma Polly. This is your host. Excuse me for the technical difficulties. I checked everybody else, but didn't check myself. But never mind that. We have a very exciting show for you tonight. It's a continuation of last week, and we have some very wonderful special guests who are going to bring their enlightenment and their knowledge to the table on things that we can do to come together as a community and more cohesive. But without further ado, let's give it up for the grandma that everybody loves, whose lemonade is off the chart and the cupcake she makes is so crazy. So everybody give a warm applause for Grandma Polly.
Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. I hope your week is going as great as mine. There is still tragedy going on out there, but we can't get stuck there. We have to pay attention to our surroundings, but we also have to keep moving forward. And last week, we talked about some of the things that's going on in America today. We talked about how we were left behind when it came to building businesses and us coming together as a community to recreate these businesses. Kenny brought up Black Wall Street and different stuff like that. And I think a lot of people are afraid to step out on their talents, to step out on the abilities that they have when it comes down to building, because all of us were given at least one talent, but many of us are not using them. And my biggest question tonight is, who are you surrounding yourself around? Are you around negative people, the naysayers who tells you how it can't be done, how it won't be done, how they won't let us do it? Or are you amongst the people who are saying, hey, I got your back, I see you, you're doing awesome, we're going to get behind you and we're going to push you forward? But before we go into this conversation, I would like to introduce you to two very special people to me. Y'all already know my brother Kenneth, and we're going to give him an awesome applause for that wonderful introduction. But you're also going to help me welcome Miss Felicia Seamon and Mr. Derrick D. Moore. Derrick was with us last week. Give them a round of applause. Let's welcome them. Give them some hearts. And we're going to start with Miss Felicia as she introduces herself and tell you a little bit about the things that she's doing. And then we're going to come back to Mr. D. Moore, and he's going to tell us a little bit about himself. And then we're going to go into the conversation. Remember, if you have questions, type them in. We will get to them, and we'll be glad to talk to you. Call in if you feel like it. Let's welcome my people, Miss Felicia and Mr. D. Moore, please.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for welcoming me to Conversations with Grandma Polly. As she mentioned, my name is Felicia Seamon, and I'm a good friend of Miss Renee's, but we also have a working business relationship. I'm the president and CEO of Seamon Enterprises and Entertainment Company. We have a film and a literary as well as a music division. So we help artists and parents, of course, who are interested in their young folks getting into the film and music industry. We also have a nonprofit that we started 2 years ago during COVID, Seamon Family Foundation. And our foundation does a number of things, but a lot of it, for the most part, is supporting artists and entrepreneurs. And we have a few programs that are based in virtual mentorship with professionals from all types of fields. So we're really excited about that. We have some writing cohorts, we have some events coming up, and we have some great programs, and we're working with a lot of great folks. So I'm just excited to be here and share in the conversation today.
Yes. A woman of many talents, and when she say friend, yes, that's exactly what it is. True friendship, true partnership. Love working with this woman. Love working with her family. And now we're going to bring Mr. Derrick Moore in. And Derrick, come in and tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Hello. Oh, whoa. All right. How y'all doing? Uh, First, I tried to create a background so I can show my TV, made it look like I was somebody, but it's just a wall. So excuse
What
that.
happened?
I, it's a long story. It ain't. My plan didn't work. In theory, it was great, but oh, there we go. See the TV? Look, see it. There we go. My name is Derrick Moore. Some people call me DMOTREE, which is my stage name in comedy. I've been doing comedy for going on 12 years now. I've been an educator for 23 plus years, so going into my 24th year next year. And I taught Grandma Polly everything she knows. I just want to make that clear to y'all. Everything she doing. That's right, the good stuff I taught her, pretty much.
Yeah, you're right. Don't believe him. I have learned a lot from Derrick though. And Derrick, you forgot to tell them that you do the graphic designs with poster with the
Yeah.
flyers and different stuff like that. Don't hold back, put it out there. Because society will have you think that we're just people who don't work, we're lazy, and we're sitting back expecting a handout, and that's very far from the truth. But the thing I want to bring to attention this evening, just starting out,
Hmm.
I asked the question, what are you doing with your talents? Are you using your talents to build a better you for your community? Last week Derrick talked about banks and hospitals and the whole big picture. But I want to shrink that a little bit and bring it in. And maybe we cannot build a hospital today. Maybe we cannot build a grocery store today. But with the talents that we have, we can start off just with what we have and grow it. Everything starts from a thought and a seed. You take what you have and you grow it. And if you don't have an idea of what you're doing, I got to admit, when I first started this, when I was going to write these books that me and God argued about, I knew how to put words on paper. But when it comes down to formatting it, finding the right person to edit it, finding the right person to get the book covers done, and I had no clue, no idea at all. So what did Renee do? Renee reached out to someone who had done that before. You do that, it'll work. Will people tell you no? Don't be afraid of the word no, because you got to look at it this way. The person who told you no wasn't supposed to be a part of it anyway. You just keep searching, you keep seeking, and you keep working, and it will happen. Not to brag, but I have 4 books, 3 workbooks, the doll set's done. Some other things that we're working on. But the key to it is I had to get started. And now I think I done talked enough. Miss Felicia, I'm coming over to you because you're one of those people who help other people get started. You're one of those people who help mentor other people through what they're doing. And I know you do some of that also, do more. But now I'm gonna let Miss Felicia jump in on this conversation.
So, in terms of helping folks, that's been pretty much a foundation of everything that we've done, since we started our businesses. Because clearly, and I think sometimes we forget, uh, everyone needed some assistance to get wherever you are. So, with that in mind, and being a product of the public school system, and coming from a neighborhood that wasn't the greatest place on earth, and just having a lot of those issues, I think at one point we really were helping each other a lot more than we do now. We really literally do this for a living, and we find other ways to go about it, as opposed to having to charge a nickel and a dime every time someone asks a question. The reward for me in it, and for our family and our business, is when you see someone who you've assisted doing well, or doing better than they were perhaps doing beforehand. That's the reward within itself. As a former educator, I taught from babies when we had a child care center up to college students and adults when I taught at Cheney University. That give back is something that we, especially coming from a historically Black college and university, that give back is something that I think we were trained to do, especially just based on not having a lot from the beginning. So it's really very, very family oriented. And I feel like the network building and the people building that we're doing, it's the legacy that I would like to leave. Not, being able to go somewhere and have someone pay me hundreds of thousands of dollars to speak in front of crowds of people who probably don't need as much help as the people who we know need help. So I prefer to stay within our communities and make sure that we're helping each other, but we're also having to do a lot of reteaching of exactly what that help means and how to seek out that type of support. So yeah, that's definitely something that we kind of fancy ourselves in doing.
Yes. And Miss Felicia is a woman after my own heart because we think so much alike. My thing is, matter of fact, I just had this conversation with somebody today. They're wanting to write a book. My question is, why? And you have to know your why, and you have to know your purpose. And when the young man said to me, he said, because I want to become a bestseller and I want to become a millionaire. I laughed. Not to insult him, but I'm saying you need to rethink your why. Because if this is why you're doing it, you get done writing the book, and then now you don't become a bestseller and you don't become a millionaire. Then now you're disappointed and you wasted a whole lot of time that you're not going to move forward with. But if your why is to help others, to inspire others, to help others get to that next point, then that's my why. And that's very satisfying to me. Derrick, come on, tell me, because you're with kids all the time. Bless your heart.
Yeah. Yes. All the time. What's your question? Tell you what you didn't
Yeah,
tell me what to
you
tell
and your
you.
purpose and why you do what you do.
Oh, my
Miss
purpose. Oh,
Felicia is
why am
doing it
I?
to give back.
Oh, okay. I got you. Why am I a teacher? Is that what you're asking me? Why
Yeah,
I chose to pursue this? I mean, I actually always wanted to be a teacher. I kind of knew that when I was a little kid. I was inspired, I guess what confirmed it was my seventh and eighth grade teacher, Mrs. Martin. I loved the way she, just helped her students. It was just something I was like, wow, I want to do that. I really want to do that. Now I ran from it because I was like, kids are crazy. I didn't think, as you know, I'm not the most mature person, Renee. So, I just wanted to really help kids. I've just always wanted to help kids. And I thought being a school teacher would be the best way for me to do that. And I know we talked about, so I feel like part of my purpose was to help those kids who, to be the teacher that I didn't have, that probably could have pushed me to do certain things that I just, when I didn't, felt like I didn't have the support or the drive to do certain things, to kind of see the potential in them before they see it themselves, and to, just to encourage them to do the things that they can do to take advantage of their talents and their skills. So I feel like that's my purpose, to plant that seed in them to know that they can do what they want to do without sounding corny, but being realistic.
And on top of that, you also, Miss Felicia pointed out something that she wanted to help. She didn't use the word underserved, but she put it in a form of, we're going to speak to these people who don't really need it, but coming back to the ones who need it. And that, that's the type of community that you work in also.
Right.
And I ask those questions because we all have so much in common. Kenny, I'm going to let you jump in here, and I want you to tell me your purpose, and then I'm going to bring it back full circle into where we're going with it.
Okay, here we go. What is going on here today?
There you
Something is
go.
going on. My purpose is not to have a yellow screen for you guys to view. Okay, that would be my purpose. But my purpose, actually, my mission statement is to remind people from who and whence they came, and to remember from where you came from, and all that beauty is limitless potential for you. So all of us came from the same source. People want to get in all of these arguments because of semantics. Some people want to call it God, some people call it source. Everybody agrees there's something larger out there, you know, and that we've all emanated from, and it's in us. So to tap into that power, and to share your gifts, your talents, and everything that you have within you. I mean, that's our first nature is to love, and our second nature is to express that love any way we desire. So that's my purpose in a nutshell, and to help people contribute to whatever their cause is, whatever they want to do in life. I love seeing people excel, especially the younger generation. And you got me on here stumbling over my words, girl. I told you I'm behind the scenes,
Ah,
but I'm giving the
but you
mic to
do
you
so
now.
much.
And
Yeah, you're
Renee, can I
stumbling
say
over
one
your
more?
word, but you do so much and you help so many people. And I'm
Can I
bringing
say
it
one more
back
thing,
full.
Renee?
Say again?
Can I say one more thing?
Yes, go ahead.
Because I don't want to forget this. I don't know how I did not start off with this. Just in case on Judgment Day, my original purpose is to share the gospel of Christ, to teach His principles, and that's outside of work. Just my human purpose. I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah,
Love your neighbor as yourself.
there you go.
That's love. And to bring this back full circle, all of us started at some point, and the struggle was real, and the struggle still is real. And for people to sit back and watch, we don't know who we are inspiring into that next project or inspiring that person to make their next move. And sometimes it becomes difficult. And we all have dealt with some difficulties in dealing with other people too. And as we speak of the youth, you know, Miss Felicia, right now you got a program and a project that you're working on with young people, and I'm not young, but you work with me too. And be quiet, Demore, I'm not old either. I'm in between.
What?
I didn't say a word.
What?
But what are some of the struggles that you find there, Miss Felicia?
Well, you know, you and I have this conversation often, because we are pretty much engulfed with young people more often than not. And I kind of find that it's a universal issue. It's not necessarily relegated to younger folks, but it's a little bit of both. I think it crosses generations totally. Just in terms of what are some of the issues, you know, we work with younger professionals who are 30, 35 and under for the most part. Lots of college students, high school students, and even some younger minors who are just engaged in business or creativity, whatever it is that, you know, their specialty is. But what I find most often is one of the difficult areas. It's mostly communication. I think that we have gotten away from communicating effectively and efficiently. You know, like giving someone a courtesy response back in the form of a text message if you can't respond right away, or if you can't respond in 24 hours. I have a lot of folks who I'm pretty consistent, and I think as a teacher, you have to have a lot of.
I can vouch for that.
It's okay. That's okay. I was going to say, and as a teacher, I think you have to have a significant amount of patience if you want to do your job well. So I think I learned a lot of that early, and I'm grateful. So now I'll have younger folks, and again, sometimes our seasoned professionals who, you know, say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get back to you." 6 months later, you know, oh, you know, things were going this way and that way, and that's totally understandable because things happen, life happens. But the importance of staying at least in communication with folks who you're dealing with, or you're in business or partnership with, or mentoring or menteeing, I think that that's imperative, because it also will speak to how, you know, the characteristic that people get from you. How will people look at you? What assumptions will be made, and what presumptions might be made? So communication is even an area that, even though we're helping younger professionals learn about professions and careers and artistic goals, we often have conversations with them about how important it is to communicate, to respond to the email, not just respond to your social media, but to respond and to meet people where they are, in terms of, if you're someone who's not necessarily interested in texting, I'll ask you that question, and then I'll call you if that's your preference. I'll meet you where you are. The expectation is sometimes that I'm thinking about me and thinking about me only, and I'm not really paying attention to what other folks need or may consider. And that's a really, in my opinion, a really, really huge area that we have to go back to training folks, again, younger and older and more seasoned professionals.
I love it. And to hear you say that, I'm working with this young man right now, and the biggest problem I have with people, period, sometimes, is a quality that Miss Felicia has that I just love, and she just don't know that it is growing in me. Consistency. Because with effective communication and consistency, I believe the two go hand in hand. And I'm not much of a texter. You text me, I may text you back once or twice, but look, I'm gonna pick up the phone and be like, hey, because with texting for me, sometimes the communications could be confused. I'll never forget, and Timor, be quiet. I'm gonna make y'all laugh. It wasn't funny at the time, but I could have sank in a hole. There was this young lady who texted me, and she was like, "Oh, I saw a picture of you and your husband on Facebook, and y'all look great." My big fingers texting back, "You look great too." And then they text me this text back, "No, not really. I've gained a lot of weight. I'm big as a cow." I text back, "I can tell," to that statement that she made. So you know how that made me feel once that went through? If I could have sank through the floor at that time, I would have, because that's not what I meant. But with the auto text and all that stuff, you don't pay attention. You don't send something out there that wasn't intended, and you don't know how the person on the receiving end is going to take it. You can destroy friendships behind that. Luckily, she wasn't that type of person, but it's just so with texting, I'll be like, let me call so they can hear me and I don't look like I'm crazy.
That's called a Freudian text slip, I believe. I think that's a Freudian slip.
I'm inclined to agree.
Yes. So D, you know, well, you work with kids.
Hmm.
Tell me some of the difficulty, some of the things that you feel could be improved between that gender gap. You know, we have a gap here.
Well, first, let me say I agree 1 billion% with everything Felicia just said. To me, for this generation, and I think it's bigger than kids. Is how can I say this? These phones, I think, is one of the worst thing that's happened to our society. It's making people more cold. Like the whole point of us having this conversation so we can see one another. Um, you can see the gestures, our facial expressions. You know, you get a sense of who people are. But what texting and emails allow you to hide who you are as a person. So I think, and people are not as compassionate. They're not as patient with one another because they don't have any relationship. So these phones is like preventing relationships. You know, this new technology, even though it's efficient, it's effective from like as far as getting in touch with someone quickly, but in the scheme of things, it's hurting us because relationships are broken. Like we're not connected. Where before we had to be connected. When we were kids, you either had to call someone on the phone, or you had to talk to them face to face, or write, or good old fashioned write a letter and mail it. Like kids don't even know how to write. Do people even write letters anymore? Like, society is just we're forgetting the things that to me that make us human. We're becoming too robotic. And that's part of the reason for all of this violence and just chaos in society because people don't feel connected, they don't feel valued because society doesn't put value on these things. And as far as the students, I hate I don't think any child should have a phone. I just don't. It's too much of a distraction. I mean, they literally act like it's a drug. They're addicted to their phones. We're doing testing. I have kids rushing to finish their tests because they're hoping to get. Now, I explained to them, you don't get your phone back until everyone's finished. I had a kid rush to take this a final exam just this week. Finish the test 20 minutes, final exam. Can I get my phone back? I'm like, no. So, they had 2 hours for their test. But it's just like they don't have the discipline. They're just not mature enough to handle this for the most part. There are some who are, but the majority, no, it does far more harm. And then they have access to things they should not have access to at this young age. Um, it's just not good. We need to go back to days of old where we just communicate and talk to one another. I don't. I text, but I hate texting. It's just so impersonal. It's so cold to me. It's like I don't like it. I prefer to talk to people.
I agree with you on that. And now we're going to go into, the business building and the business aspect of it. And all that you and Miss Felicia just said, when we get into that habit of texting, it's so, to me, it's so unprofessional as a business. A quick text, yeah, but I'm not going to sit down and have a whole conversation with you through a text because it's impressionable. If I'm on the phone and I'm frustrated, you can hear it. If I'm on the phone and I'm happy, you can hear it. If I'm joyful, you can hear it. But through a text, all you're seeing is these letters and it's nothing. I have a box full of birthday cards from over the years of growing up. You don't have those things anymore because everybody wishes you happy birthday on social media. Everybody wishes you happy birthday through a text. It's not personal anymore. Put that finger down.
I
You
want to. I
ain't in
want to
church.
jump in. No, I want to
Go
jump
ahead.
in on the birthday card. No, it's weird because like when I do cards for people, I like writing, how I feel, what I think. So I'm writing like paragraphs in the card, and people look at me like I'm strange. Like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm writing them a note. I want them to remember. That's the whole point of the card. Just buying a card with words already in it and your signature, it to me is just saying I just bought this card to give you and just put my name in. I ain't really put too much thought into it. I want people to know me, who I am. This is how I think about you on your birthday, on your anniversary, or whatever it may be. I'm not just gonna go with the commercial, message. Um, and I was going to say also, these phones, with people who love the text, because, like you said, you can hear frustration and joy in your voice. It releases us of responsibility to our neighbor. It releases us. Because if you're feeling sad, if I'm texting you, even though I can read the words, I really don't get the sense of how sad or depressed you are. But if I'm talking to you, now I have a responsibility to you. But that texting kind of releases me of that because I can go, prayer hands, and my thoughts, and then we just disconnected. And that's what people really don't want, and they don't want accountability. They don't want responsibility. So these devices free us. Part of that, it frees us from that, and that's why people love it so much. Because here's the one thing that drives me crazy: people will try to text you, have a whole conversation, and like you said, I'm like that too. I'll just call you, but they don't answer the phone. But they just sent you something, but they don't answer the phone because they don't want the responsibility and accountability of really being your friend or whatever the situation may be. They just don't want that. And that's where our society is headed. We're getting more and more detached. We need to come together. If we're ever going to have this change that we want, it's not going to happen if we rely on so much on technology. Technology is good. It's supposed to make our life better. It's a tool. We're supposed to use it as a tool. A hammer can build a house or it can murder someone. It's how you choose to use it. And right now, these devices for kids are homicide weapons. They're not good. They're not good at all. They're not using it in the right way.
I get it, and I'm going to say this real quick. I'm crossing you off of my list. birthday cards, that you write into. I get the texts and, all that stuff. But I got you, see. I'm gonna tell the kids that's what you tell them, but I haven't received my card yet. But anyway, we're gonna talk about that later. Miss
What?
Miss Felicia,
Yes.
You blanked out on me. You went silent for a minute.
Derrick, time out. Miss Felicia, come on
Yeah.
in here. We're going to talk about we're gonna bring home Kenny, I see a question down there you might want to put up, but we're going to talk about the building of business.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, you've been doing this for a while, and I am so blessed to have you as my friend, and I celebrate everything that you do. But what would you say to people who decide, okay, I have this talent and I want to be an actor or I want to get into music, any of the arts, because all of us here right now is in some type of form of arts. So what would be the first advice you give to someone who's looking to get into that?
Couple of things. First and foremost, like I think we all said, uh, we were very accustomed to, when we were younger, finding a mentor. We were accustomed to saying, okay, if your father was a doctor or a teacher, or your mom was in a nursing or something, that for the most part often became the means and the access point that you were able to generate from your own household. And sometimes it determined exactly what career field you may or may not get into, or they used to have us take those little tests to determine what we were really good at. I don't think much of that has changed. We've just, like Derrick mentioned, we've just brought all of these other facets into it, the technology and the tools. And like the young lady asked, I think that it is across generation. Just because older folks do not have sometimes the capacity, because it's not something that was within their generation, they weren't taught. Some folks will feel like, okay, I don't want to work with our elders, just based on their disinterest with technology or their disinterest with social media and texting and all of those things. And you'd be very surprised that you're leaving out a segment of population, of clientele, your customer base, partnerships. You're leaving out people who have a huge amount of experience and influence. I think there's a African proverb that I heard a couple weeks ago, and it stuck to me, where it spoke about the younger generation moves so fast, but the elders know which way to go. And I think that that's a statement that we can clearly keep in our coffins forever, because clearly these are folks who just have already done a lot of it, regardless of how much it's changed. So in terms of building the business aspect of it, I think it's very important, if you're interested in business or even just have a mere curiosity about it, that it's important for you to model people who have businesses. When I decided that we were going to start an entertainment company, it was really a pivot. It wasn't something that we intended to do, but after our daughter got involved with music and film, we said, okay, we need to try to figure out how we're going to capitalize off of this and how we can perhaps help some other folks as well. But really important, I went online and I looked at the biggest entertainment company I could find. I went and looked at Rock Nation and all of the other companies that sometimes we feel like are out of our reach. But why would I look at something that's very small if my interest is not to have something that would be impactful and large? I want something that's bigger than that. So with businesses, just like careers, whether you're an educator or creative, an artist, whatever you're doing, and that's really where a lot of our programming stems from, that connection, that mentorship, to be able to have someone who can say, well, here's what I did, and you don't have to do it the exact same way. That's not the intention. But here is at least a foundation. Here is a template for you to be able to use. And it just makes life so much easier. So when I was interested in knowing about writing a book, not because I'm an author, but because our daughter and my husband co-authored a book together, I got with folks who knew how to do that already. You keep those kind of people around you. I think that was the premise of the post that you put on this video. Who are you keeping around you? Who are you circling yourself with? Because that's going to make a huge difference, in my opinion.
Yes, yes. And that is so true. You may not know, but if you have an interest, you could learn. Who are you surrounding yourself with? And real quick before I come to you, Derrick, y'all, we got to point out, y'all look behind Miss Felicia shoulder. Y'all see
Daddy's
that
big
book
secret.
back there? Go the other way, Miss Felicia. Go the other way. Go the other way. Go. See that book back there? That book is titled Daddy's Got a Secret. And
Daddy's
Jermaine, I
big
see
secret.
you out there in the audience. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Jermaine and Felicia, give me your daughter's name again. Jordan.
Jordan.
They penned this book together. And it's a book about Jermaine being dyslexic. So, so many times we put limits on ourselves or we put labels on people, and people grow up with these labels, and it's like, well, they told me I'm ADD, ADHD, and all these different labels that they put on people. And sometimes we get stuck with, well, they told me I can't do it because. Who is they? I'm telling you, I can do it because of who I am and whose I am. So we have to stop making excuses, putting limits on ourselves. Hold on a minute. Letting people tell us who we are instead of we knowing who we are as a person. Because all things are possible. And this is part of the premise that was written out there. And now I'm going to shut up. Kenny popped in here, so he must have got something to say. Demo, I ain't going to let you go yet because you're going to talk along with me.
Yeah, I just want to add to how the labels. It's all about money. When they have the labels on everything, it all goes back to money. Just take for instance the hospital. People have been having babies forever in this institution of hospitalization now. For when you have a baby, they make millions and millions of dollars. So anytime they label something, just know it's all about the money. It's got nothing to do with what the person is. It's just a different way or a different approach to learn something. That's the only difference in us. That is the only difference. So all these labels, I don't even give them any credence or credit. So back to you, Grandma Polly.
That's it, folks. That's it, folks. D, I'm going to let you go. Jermaine also put the link to his book in there. Daddy's Big Secret. I want you guys, y'all come on, help me, help us. Y'all order that book. I have it. And it is great, y'all. They did an awesome job with that book. So y'all please
Hey,
support my friend and my family, because that's who they became. Y'all go on out there and order that book. Derrick, you got 60 seconds.
no, I was gonna say, I'm glad you cleared it up about the book because Daddy See, I thought it was like a book about side chicks or something. I didn't know if they made that Daddy Secret, because that's the stereotype for black men. We got other families and stuff. But no, I was gonna say like with the labels, like ADHD. I don't believe in it like with students. That's another reason I became a teacher, to let students who know who they are. So when they get these labels, so I'll have a counselor or even a parent tell me, "Oh, my child is ADHD," and I say, and I'll talk to the counselor or the parent. I'll say, "Ma'am or sir, your child just spent a whole class period staring at their phone, focused on whatever they was doing. ADHD mean you can't focus on something." So they focus on what they want to focus on, and they buy into these labels. And like Kenny said, everything in America is about money. Nothing is truly to help the people. Anything that's truly help the people is destroyed. Laws are written against it. Is taken down. So big pharma, whoever can make their money, it's not really to help the people. Because if it was, insulin wouldn't be so expensive, where people are choosing between, do they eat or pay other bills, or do they buy insulin? Like if it was truly to help us, all these things would be affordable. It wouldn't be about its exploitation, unfortunately. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So the CIA or somebody come after me, allegedly. I have to say allegedly. Can't hear you, Grandma.
Grandma Polly.
Bring Miss Felicia back in because we got some things that we're working on, and I'm so excited. But
Yeah.
and what you're saying, we blame the outside world, but and this is just touching on the eight. That's a whole nother conversation. But I will put this out here. We talk about how they label our kids and all these things, but you got to remember they're paying parents to label these kids too, because a lot of them get checks for these kids and they get satisfied with that. That's not okay. That's a whole nother show, a whole nother conversation. But Miss Felicia, I am so excited about what's coming up. And guess what? I want you to tell the people about it. Tell the people about everything. We can't, you got the flow.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much again. Just in terms of the events and the programs that we have coming up, we're very, very excited that our nonprofit and our mission, we're able to move it forward in a number of ways. One of them is through what I mentioned earlier, our Next Gen Young Professionals program. And again, this is a program that pulls younger folks who may have an interest or just be trying to figure out exactly what they may have an interest in doing. And we try to couple or partner them with professionals, retired, active, it doesn't matter what field it is or what the interest is. We try to partner them with people who may already have some experience or expertise in the area. So we have a nice little form that we have the mentees fill out, and it connects them depending on the mentors who have signed up. It connects them to those people. So there's not necessarily a reason for you to say, well, I just don't know how to do this, because the internet, as easy as it may appear to go on there and look up some stuff and figure it out, it's also very saturated with a lot of erroneous information. So what we've opted to do is to make sure that we already have an idea of folks who legitimately have knowledge and experience in areas, and then we call it a virtual hand up, so to speak. So we give the younger professionals access to these people, and they can ask them questions. You don't have to be in the room with them or take them out to lunch. It's virtual, so you can just ask them questions. How did you get to this point? What classes did you take in school? What other areas do you think it's important for me to have? What training do I need? So our Next Gen Young Professionals program is something that I'm very, very excited about. We're all very excited about it, because even the folks who are on this call have gotten a chance to meet some of the young people, and it keeps them stimulated, and it helps us to help them, which in turn is helping us as well. And we also have an event coming up on July 9th, Saturday, July 9th. We're having the Atlanta Summer Festival. It'll be at 352 University Avenue in Atlanta. Saturday, July 9th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. We'll have all types of things. It's a festival. It's going to be so much going on. Besides, we have a book fair that'll feature Grandma Polly, the Big Rig Kids, and a whole bunch of other authors that we're very, very excited about showcasing. We also will have various vendors there promoting their businesses and services. So this will be an opportunity for you to come out and support various businesses from all over the Metro Atlanta area. We have some musicians and dancers, performers across the board, poets and so forth, who are going to come in and grace us with their musical performances. And we even have some folks who are coming in, actors and film directors, who are going to show their trailers and their shorts, and workshops that'll be able to answer questions like, how do I get to this point? What helps me get to this area if I have an interest in it? So it's just going to be an all around really, really good time. I'm very excited about it. We're accepting pre-registration now, so we don't have a lot of duplication, but we're very, very excited, and you can find all of that information below, or you can just visit our website, SeamonEnt.com, and that's SeamonEnt.com, and click on the 2022 Atlanta Summer Festival, and we're looking forward to everyone being there, and it's free. It's free. All you have to do is go to Eventbrite and RSVP, get yourself a free ticket. You can register yourself or your entire family if you'd like to come. You can bring your lawn chairs and your umbrellas and things like that. And we're just going to have an amazing time. And we are very, very excited about this event.
Yes, I'm so excited. There is a quick question, Miss Felicia. I have a friend named Felicia and one named Felicia, and they just tie my tongue all up. Randy Muhammad, you see that, Kenny? Is there an age requirement for the mentoring initiative?
No, it's not. Hi, Randy. No, it is not an age requirement. We have professionals, some younger folks, which is another reason why it is great to be a part of what we have going on. We have a platform because, like Derrick said, we're trying to pull people off of the social media and off of all of the things that become a distraction. So this platform is right from our website. It's called the BizNet Professionals Network. It's free. We just reached 100 member milestone a couple weeks ago. We're excited about that. But this is a place where we create profiles, virtual profiles, professional profiles of everyone that's in there. So we have folks who are managers, who are authors, writers, who are educators, pastors, military veterans, ever active and retired. So all of these folks are in this one platform, and it provides our younger professionals access. That's one of our big catchphrases. Access removes boundaries, because we know that we are often excluded systematically and otherwise, or sometimes we're just not exposed to a lot of things. So we're providing them access, and we welcome everyone to join. But we have young professionals, business folks in there who are as young as 6 and 7 years old. So no, there is absolutely no limit. And think about it. If you see a child 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, and they have been guided and been exposed and given access, it'll make you take a look at what you're doing at home. And you'll say, I probably could be focusing on some other areas. I could probably be investing in my child or in my family or my community and a lot of other ways. And that's the purpose of our BizNet platform. So we're really, really excited to have that. There are no age limits. We are just constantly trying to walk people through in partnership, because it's mutually beneficial. We're walking folks through what they can and what they can't do. And if it's something that clearly I can't figure out or someone else can't figure out, then it's our mission to go and find someone who can figure it out on your behalf.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. And I'm so happy to be a part of all of this. I am is speechless. Derrick, we're going to let you give your closing comment. Don't be looking all crazy because you touched on the education part, but you didn't tell people you're a comedian. That's why he acting so silly, y'all.
I'm a comedian.
See, come on.
Yes, I have a show this Saturday night featuring Tonex and Nick Lewis at Reds on Union in Concord, North Carolina. Yes, 28025 zip code. What do you want me to say? You know, yes, I mean, yes, I do. Okay, I'll say it like this. I love doing comedy. I plan on becoming a full-time comedian after I retire from teaching, because I believe teaching is my first purpose. But I've always loved to make people laugh. When I was younger, I mean, this didn't hit me until I was older, but people used to ask me all the time. They would come up, just strangers, or even some people. They're like, "Are you a comedian?" I would go, "No, I could never do that." But it was always in me to do it. Um, just 12 years ago, two friends of mine kind of challenged me to do it. We were at a comedy show, and I said, "Yeah, I'll do it," because it was in me to do it. It just, I guess that was the right time 12 years ago. But I mean, laughter is medicine. Laughter makes you feel better. I just like seeing people happy. I mean, I don't know any other way to describe it. I just like encouraging people. My comedy is clean. I don't make fun of people. I like people feeling good after they leave the show. Oh, I didn't know that was a joke. That was a joke. I didn't know that was a joke. I thought I was being serious right there. I thought I was being
And
serious.
you said that, and I can actually vouch for Derrick. Derrick has literally became a brother to me. All jokes aside, D. And
She forced me. It wasn't my choice. She made me.
stop so I can finish.
No, can I say this? I'll say this one thing about being a comedian. When I knew I wanted to do it, I did go find me mentors to help me. I didn't just go on my own. What's been in my hand? I forgot to say this. This from the Bible. I'm not trying to be religious, but I believe this is true. Um, people perish for lack of knowledge. So you have
Mm.
to know something before you can do it. And once you have the knowledge, that's where your wisdom comes from applying that knowledge and learning. So my philosophy was, I'm going to go and ask for help and seek help from people who are doing what I want to do, because that's going to save me some of the pitfalls and headaches. And it did. So it's very important to find a mentor in whatever you want to do. And there's no age restriction on that. I still have mentors today. If I have questions about certain things, it's like, and I will have mentors until the day I die. That's not something you grow past, like, or become too big to need. Like, someone always knows more than you, and you can learn from anyone, child or an adult. And I'll leave it at that, Renee.
That we should never be the smartest person in the room. But as I was saying, coming back to you, I can vouch for D. He's clean. You can get him for a kid party, a church, or whatever.
Hmm.
He never hurts people.
No.
He talks about different situations and different stuff like that. But as far as when it comes down to people and the language, from a baby all the way up to Methuselah, and he was the oldest person that lived. They could sit in that
Your twin,
audience.
Renee?
See, Ken?
Good one, good one, kid.
All right, right, you and D Moore been here before me. Let me finish.
Because I can't let my mama hear me curse. My mama ain't raised me like that to be cursing.
Yeah, but
Mm-mm.
I'm saying you get the joy, you get the laughter, and you get the fun part of it, but you still leave there feeling whole. And that's what attracts me to Derrick. Derrick and I have been doing crazy
Whoa,
stuff.
whoa, whoa, whoa. You're
Hey, wait a
married,
minute, let
Renee.
me
You
finish.
can't be. Oh,
We've
okay.
been dealing, yes, we have been doing crazy stuff with the arts when the book was just a thought in my head. So what I want you guys to see is that I have three people right here tonight. My
Mm-hmm.
brother, Miss Felicia, and Derrick.
And Methuselah.
Yeah, Methuselah, Derrick Moore, and Methuselah, Kenneth Thompson. Y'all three. I have connected with these three people who I kind of stand on their shoulder, and then we tend to stand on each other's shoulder. So that's how you build. You can't, well, I don't, you can't build with everybody. I'm not saying that. But you find the people who you could connect with that are real. And I promise you, it'll happen. But you just can't sit in fear and not do anything.
Mhm.
Are
And
you
that's
doing
it.
that fake sign language like that other black lady that was on the news? Look like you're doing fake sign language. I just want to
I'm
be
gonna stop
clear
you in the
if you
throat
were
when this is
interpreting,
over. Go
if
ahead,
you need an
Kenny. We're gonna
interpreter.
ignore D Moore because we don't went overtime.
Oh boy.
Kenny, give your closing remarks, please.
I just want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. All the wonderful people and their wonderful comments. Lisa, Randy, Artavia, Jermaine, Lena. The list goes on. Darlene, I can name them all, but it'd be too long to do all of that. But I want to thank each of you for personally joining us tonight and being a part of the conversation, because that's what it takes. And we need to be that community for one another and build each other up. And that's what we're all about right here. So with love, peace, and chicken grease. Yum.
Oh Lord, he went to chicken grease.
You
I
know
just
it.
want to thank the new followers that we picked up this week. I want to thank
Amen.
Miss Felicia Simone, Mr. Derrick D. Moore, my awesome
Okay.
brother Kenneth J, as he has down there. That should have been Methuselah 1 and Methuselah 2, but we ain't gonna say nothing about
Mm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to thank you all for joining us. Jermaine, gonna see you soon. Felicia, he said when I talked about his book, he said he did it because of you, because you were the winds beneath his wings. That's so sweet.
That's
And that's
awesome.
what it all boils down to. Everybody supporting each other. You know, when everything is not monetary, sometimes you have to barter. But with all of that being said, I love you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I thank you guys for tuning in. Remember, we have 2 more weeks, and then we're gone until mid-August when we'll be back. So yeah, I think next Thursday we just gonna make it a fun Thursday. So tune in. We may have a few things that we're giving away. I don't know yet. I haven't decided, but
We will
I,
have a few things that we're giving away.
Ooh,
I'm just going to
ooh.
make an executive decision right here, okay?
Oh, okay. I'm coming back. I'm being back.
I could
Uh,
contribute. We could contribute something to add to the giveaways as well.
okay, Methuselah 1 and 2 and Miss Felicia, my best friend.
okay.
Yeah, so y'all make it a fun Thursday, and you guys tune in, and we'll go from there. But remember, y'all order that book, Daddy's Big Secret. It's
Yes, get
awesome.
the book.
I have it. I
Can
have it,
I
and
can I
it's
get
in the
an
hardback.
autographed copy? Can it be autographed from
Absolutely. You
Okay.
do not have to go to Amazon. Those are in-house. So absolutely, just let me know what you'd like for it to read.
Yes,
Uh
because I got mine. And you know what? Hold on, I gotta show it. I'm gonna be messy so I can rub it in. Don't be
uh
blowing off
I'm
me. I heard that.
I'm just going to say for the record that my
Mm.
older sister is Methuselah's grandmother. she's Methuselah's grandmother. So you know how, and she's still living next to Methuselah. They're both living together. So
It's so beautiful, and it's a hard copy.
nice.
Mine is autographed.
Like that.
I'm gonna rub it in.
Oh, that's very nice.
It's beautifully written. It's beautifully illustrated.
Wow.
And I am so proud.
That's green,
of this
isn't it?
one.
Because it's the green screen is kicking in on you.
Yeah, it's green. See, the pages have different colors. But I think it's a nice book to share with your children. And there goes Jermaine and Jordan.
Awesome.
So now we're going to say bye-bye till next week. But Felicia and Derrick, please don't leave the green room. Love you.
Here come the big rig kids, roll with the big rig kids. The sapphire the truck to you to such amazing places with the big rig kids. Those helpful big rig kids, see how they get and grow and get to know amazing things. We're with the big rig kids, and you see how it is to have adventure days and hang and play with all your friends. Because the big rig kids know what it is to live. The most exciting and inviting life